22nd. May have already started. Oh, there we go. We're away. Scott Barrow. Many thanks for joining me today, mate. You used to play for us, obviously. We're doing a bit more with Newport County, so we say nostalgia type stuff, and interviewing former players is a big thing I want to do on the channel now. So I'm sure Newport County supporters will be really keen to know, obviously what you're getting up to now, and of course getting an understanding of how you perceived your time with us. So yeah, thanks for joining me, mate.
No worries.
Happy days. So I'll jump straight into the questions then. So the first one I got for you, mate. Obviously, you started your career in Wales at Port Talbot. Did it mean a lot to you to play with a Welsh club in the Football League for the first time?
Oh, it meant a lot. I've always dreamed of playing in the Football League. Obviously, I got so close so many times, but a long-term injury always hampered it. Now, as Tamworth was Colchester, League One were interested, and 2 days later I go and tear my ACL. So it's always been so close, but never quite got there. But I think once you have an injury, as you tear your ACL, you reflect on a lot of things, and I just come back a bit more fitter player, more stronger player, and didn't really, like I said, I signed for Macclesfield, and money didn't mean anything to me. I just wanted to play football again and show what Scott Barrow was all about. And that season I did. And like I said, I had my chance in. And when I think I was celebrating my sister's, she just got a teaching job. And I had a phone call off my agent saying, like, I got some fantastic news. I said, okay, he says, one of your dreams is going to come true, Football League. I said, oh, okay, who is it? When he said Newport County, well, I think I had the most biggest smile on my face ever. And that means I was coming home. All them years I'd been away playing football and, living my own, and my dad coming to watch me all the time when I was away every Saturday. But I had that chance to come home and spend a lot more time with my family and friends. And it was an offer that I couldn't really turn down.
Yeah, of course. So how did you find your time at Newport then?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, I was home. I was back in Wales. It had its ups and had its downs. But overall, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I wish I had, more seasons at Newport. I wish I could stay in Wales a lot longer than I did. But the 38 appearances, I play for Newport, but playing in the Football League, no one can ever take that away from me. And I know playing in, like I say, in the Capital One Cup, getting to the third round of the FA Cup and be on TV, and just playing for Newport, playing for a Welsh team, it's my blood, and it didn't mean a lot to me, and mostly meant a lot to my family as well.
Yeah, of course. So as a defender, obviously, did it mean a lot to actually be signed by Terry Butcher?
Yeah, he's he's a legend, and when someone like that at the club, he's a living legend, and you learn a lot of him. In a short period of time that he was there, I learned a lot, and I didn't play in the position that I was signed for as a left back, but when we had so many injuries at the start of the season, I think we had 14 players out by when we come to, I think it was Cambridge away first game of the season, and we had more injuries. And I remember coming in Monday morning and getting told that I'm the most, I think I was the oldest player in the team. I think I was about 27, 28 then. And we playing against Wolves in the back three of Regan Poole and Kieran Parcell, who were, at the time were 16 and 17. Yeah. It was something I had to adapt, play the left side of the three, which I've never played before. And I think the last time I played it was when I was about 16, played for my dad's team at Britton Ferry, first time playing the Man's League. But I always adapt to situations. And, I think through that season, I didn't really play left back as much. I played a few games there, but I played left wing back when injuries. Then I started playing left midfield, left wing, centre midfield, left back. So I think the only position I didn't play that season was probably in goals, because Joe Day, cemented that all season. But something I learned a lot of Terry Butcher, and in a short period of time. And it to be honest, it's made me a better player, because I know then I can play in numerous positions.
Good stuff then. So obviously Terry Butcher's time was cut pretty short. It was just 10 games in. Did your experience at the club change when Sheridan and Feeney arrived?
It kind of did, because under Terry Butcher, I was starting, and I remember that, the way I was playing the first. We didn't win a lot of games in the first few games, but my performances as playing left side of us as a three, established, my name got around a lot more. And I remember he bringing me in the office and he wanted me to sign a 2-year deal, because there's too many people ringing who's this left-sided centre half, because that's what I am about, and I'm not the strongest centre half in the world at the time, but what I did have was ball playing, passing from the back, running, because I was a left back and I always run with the ball. I always run the ball in spaces and creating a lot of things, and I was all ready to sign a 2-year deal. I couldn't wait, but obviously a few days later, we lost to Crawley, I think it was, at home, and he got the shop. But I think, like I said, things did change then. Obviously, John Sheridan comes in, he's an experienced manager, and Warren Feeney is obviously someone, as a Swans fan, also I've watched him play. But things changed for the club, because the team was a lot stronger. There's no more messing about. Obviously, John Sheridan had his strict rules and things he wanted to do. And for me as well, it was, he tried to change the way I played, which I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind adapting to any part of my game. I'm always willing to learn. But I think when it comes to the games and he's telling me what to do on the pitch, which in theory, it kind of hampered the way I played. It was affecting the way I played, and it was in my head a lot, and my performances started dipping a little bit. And after the 2 games that I did play, he put me on the bench and for a number of weeks. I want to say I was disappointed, because you just want to keep on playing, but I didn't really mourn about it. I didn't mean to just go on with it every training session to try and improve myself. And if I improve myself in training and I started again on a Saturday, it'd be fantastic. But if I didn't, I just do what's best for the team, and I'll put a performance in if I come off a bench. If I don't, I'll work hard after the game and change and go again on a Monday when I come back to training. But things did change under John, but I think I got his trust in when I think we played Barnet away and we were losing 1-0 and we went down to 9 men, and he called me up. He called me to the side and he said, I want you to go on. I was like, okay, well, I'm playing. And he played centre midfield. I was like, oh, God, I haven't played centre midfield for ages. I said, what formation are we going to play? He said, we're going to play, I think it was 4-2-2, 2 up front, 2 centre midfielders and 4 at the back. He said, wherever the ball side is, you just act as a left midfielder. Mark Byrne comes across as a centre midfielder, and vice versa. If it goes the other side, you just do exactly the same. So there's a lot of running. I was like, oh, basically, he's putting me in because of my fitness. But I think it was the most enjoyable 30 minutes of football I've ever played. And I was running up and down. I was whipping crosses in. I think it hit the post that day. And we lost 2-0. And the only reason why we lost 2-0 because we had a corner last minute. Joe D went up. I think we headed it. They blocked and cleared it. And he went up the other end and scored.
Yeah.
But I had the trust of him that day. After the game, he was praising my effort in front of all the boys and praising the way I worked, and just said, I never moaned and never groaned. I just got on with it and just tried to be the best I am. And I got back in the team, and then obviously a few days later he left to go to Oldham, but it was the same story again, and I just had to try and get Warren Feeney's trust then.
Was that difficult at all then?
No, it wasn't difficult because obviously Warren Feeney was the assistant manager and to John Sheridan, and basically he just adapted from assistant manager to a manager, and I think he trusted me in a lot more then because I wasn't the most technical gifted. I didn't have this, the skills of like Alex Rodman and stuff like that. But what I did give to Newport County was I gave a lot of heart, a lot of desire, a lot of work ethic, and sometimes what I got brought up, my dad's brought me up was hard work and desire beats talent, and sometimes that's what I've always done with, and I've always haven't got the talent, but I always give hard work, and any club I do go to, they always say that in that kind of way, I give them my all, and I give to any club I play for, and that's what happened with Warren Feeney. He took over, and he saw in me what I did under John Sheridan the last 2 games when he started playing me again. And then he put me in the team. He put me left midfield for, again, just probably getting up and down and the quality of crosses I do put in. That's one of my specialties, is my crossing and my set pieces. And then carried on playing into the end of the season.
Yeah, we always said you had a hell of a left foot, and the hard work as well, mate. That was always noticed by us as the fans. Obviously, which group of fans I was in, the ones who were singing your song all the time, which we took off of Port Talbot following the friendly match in the summer. So as I said, a lot of Newport fans rated you really highly. Would you have liked to have stayed longer?
Oh, I would love to have stayed longer. No, I was kind of shocked when I got released. It did take a big effect on me, to be honest. I thought I did enough that season by so many managers changing back and forth. And, sometimes it's hard as a player when you've got different managers coming in, but I just adapted to whatever the managers wanted to do. And I felt like I did, playing 38 appearances that season. But when I got called in and they just wanted Warren Feeney wanted a fresh start, and he wanted to get rid of players. I thought I would have been thereabouts and probably another year. But when I did get released, it did take a big hit to me. I didn't know where to go next. Obviously, come to the summer, then I didn't know what to do. I was just waiting. I had agents, but during the season with Newport, I think it was my first game of the season. We played Cambridge away, and I had an agent for 10 years. And he's always said, I'll get you to where you want to be. Just trust me. And for 10 years, I trusted him, and he finally got me moved to Newport. And during that time, he was fighting cancer as well, which did take a big hit on me. But every game I play now, I just play. I have always played with a smile on my face now, and I always play for him because, if I said, I always wanted to play football league, and I got 38 appearances on my belt, and no one can ever take that away from me. I got my framed shirts in my house, and one of the pictures was when I scored my first football league goal. That can never be taken away from me. And I remember that we played Cambridge away, and it was a proud moment for me, making my firstly, my mum and dad there. And we kicked off, and 2 minutes into the game, my dad had a phone call, and it was from my agent's, I think it was his sister, that he only had a few hours left to live, which I got told after the game. I was on the bus, I rushed home, and I got to see him. I laid my shirt on him, saying thank you. And to that day, I think if he was here still, I think my football career could have gone a lot better, because I had someone who trusted in me, and I trusted in him. We had a bond, and the whole family loved him. And I think if he was around here today, things were totally different, especially after Newport when I got released. I think I would have probably been in the football league in the pyramid somewhere, but I didn't. I jumped into an agency where I just shouldn't have. That's what happens when you're a footballer. You want an agent. Sometimes you don't need one. When you get older, you don't need one. By that time, I think, and I wanted someone. I jumped in somewhere where it didn't really work out, and he didn't really want anything to do with me. And that's why, that's why I ended up at Merthyr. I just wanted this, because I was home for a year, and I think I wasn't ready to move away from home. I went to Merthyr, and I loved my time there. Absolutely loved it. But I think after that 1 year, part-time football wasn't for me, because I was bored. Training Tuesday and Thursday and playing a Saturday, it was fine, but it was the Mondays, the Wednesdays, the Fridays where you normally train, and there's so much you can do in the gym and so much TV you can watch, and I got bored. And after that season, I just wanted to get back in the full-time game.
Yeah. Obviously, you got to the playoffs with Merthyr. Well, I remember because I was there, and unfortunately you lost on penalties, in the semi-final. But do you think, obviously, because you had a really good season for them, I actually know some Merthyr fans who actually worship the ground you walked on while you're playing for them. Do you think that set you up well for your move to Gateshead?
Yeah, I think it did. I never took Merthyr for granted. I just wanted the best for them as well. I gave my 100%. My aim that season was to keep putting the performances I did in Newport because obviously that will stand out a lot more, which I did. Obviously, I scored, I think it was 5 goals. I had something like 18 or 19 assists. I think I kept 23, 24 clean sheets that year, with, back, like in Newport, probably back when like Oliver, the Swansea boy, Oliver Davis in goals, with Scott Tanker, Curtis MacDonald. Yeah. We all, Tanky was at Newport before. We all, like saying, it was a back four and a goalkeeper. We all get along, and I just wanted to do what's best for myself. As in, I had offers in January, but I didn't feel it was right to leave because Merthyr took me in. No one else did. Merthyr took me in, and I didn't want to leave. I wanted to get the club not promoted, which we just fell short. We fell short of automatic, and then we fell short in the semi-final by probably one of the best goalkeeper performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
They absolutely battered them, didn't you?
Yeah, we battered them, and it just, we went 1-0 up, 1-1 by a scrappy goal. But after that, then it was just all us. And I remember going to the extra time, and I had a shot, and then hit the corner of the bar, bounced on the line, hit the bar, and come back out. And I thought, this is not our day.
You scored then. You ago. Scott Barrow was the hero, yeah.
Yeah, when I hit it, I knew it was in, and obviously it didn't. I thought it was over the line. I was looking at the linesman. He was saying, I can see him like pointing and how many yards he was off away from it, and I thought, this is not our day. And then the dreaded penalties, and I shouldn't think of it, but the way the keeper was for 120 minutes, you think yourself, he's going to be a hero in this. Yeah. I hope not. I hope he's not a hero. He pulls his hamstring or something, but he was a hero again, and we lost, and it was disappointing because I think if we did get promoted that year, maybe things would change. Or maybe we would have stayed for another year. But it did took me, it got me into a good position and to get myself back into, the full-time opinion. I wanted to get back in the Football League. Anyone does. But I think the manager at Gates at the time was Neil Aspin, and he's been wanted me for a few years. He wanted me when I was at Newport, when I weren't playing at the time. He wanted me to go on loan to, I think it was Halifax, or I think it was either Gates. It was Halifax. Sorry, yeah. Obviously, I didn't want to go. I wanted to play for Newport. I wanted to give it all for Newport, even if I was in the stands or I was on the bench. But then I had that move. It was a tough move. To be 375 miles away from home. Yeah. I knew it was going to be challenging. It's going to be tough. I just wanted to do it for 1 year. But
you've made over 100 appearances for them, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And I think the first season, it was something I loved. The Northeast is a fantastic place to live. I remember when my mum and dad come up and they love it. And my football just got better and better, to be honest. And I think we got taken over by Steve Watson, and I think we played Luton in the FA Cup. I took a bang to the head. I got knocked out by my fellow Welsh keeper, Dan Hanford, as well. He knocked me out. And after that, then I just come back. Maybe the knocked ahead comes back with a different player. And I think the remainder of the season, I was scoring goals left, right, and centre. I was on assists. I was putting performances, and that's I've never had. And I think we got to the semi-final of the FA Trophy. Didn't quite make it again, but one of the highlights one of my highlights is that goal against Bromley. When I scored from 30 yards out in the top corner. My celebration needed a bit of work, but goal, and like I said, my Newport Football League goal, my first one when I scored, and to this day I've still got that picture in a frame of me celebrating in front of the crowd, and my dad's there in the same seat. I never knew where he sat in at the ground. I always do. And I remember someone sent me the picture saying, "Look, your first Football League goal, congrats." And I looked at the picture and I recognised this ridiculous orange jumper. He always wears some ridiculous jumpers on match days, and I recognised this orange jumper. So I zoomed in, and I see my dad, his arms in the air celebrating, and a photo like that is priceless, and it's up in the house. And again, that's that, and one of the Bromley goals is one of the biggest goals, the most memorable goal I've ever scored.
So that first goal for us, if I'm thinking right, was that Stevenage at home?
Yeah, it was Stevenage at home, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah,
I think it was. I think I come off. I think I had a bit of a knee injury about 5 minutes ago, and we conceded. I think it was 2-2. We were 2-1 up because Aaron Collins scored as well.
That's right. Yeah,
he scored. I think I chipped it. I took a shot and it got blocked, and I chipped the back post, and Aaron Collins scored, and then I scored myself. So we was 2-1 up, and then obviously I had to come off, and we drew 2-2. But again, that day, that photo can never ever take that away from me. I got it on video. I always watch it. I got the picture on my phone. My screensaver is a picture of my Newport, and it was still there. It hasn't moved for 3 or 4 years. So, that's what it means to me.
Awesome. So, obviously, as you say, it meant a lot to be in the Football League and obviously play for Newport. Do you see yourself as a Football League player again one day?
I hope so. I always see myself every year. The performances I put in every year. I know when my performances start dipping and I'm not quite quick enough anymore or mobile enough anymore. But I think I'm 31. I still feel like I've got it. I'm probably the most fittest I've ever been. I'm always looking after my body, which probably when you get in the 30s, you need to start looking after your body because I get a lot more aches and pains, to be honest. But I think we played Oldham in the FA Cup for Gateshead this year. And obviously I think they got obviously League Two. We played them at home, and I thought, right, this is I know what I should be now. If I'm not good enough at this level, and if I'm not good enough playing against this team now, I know I would never make it football league. I'd settle for National League or Conference North, where I am now. And I remember playing that day, and it was. My performance, like I say, that day was playing against, I think it was Chris Eagles, who was a player for United.
Yeah.
I was playing against, I think it was John, someone played on loan from Bristol City. He, another winger. And Chris Eagles went off after 45, 50 minutes. Because obviously my fitness, I thought their fitness would probably be a lot better than, than Gates's. But, our team is all on fitness, and we, like I said, if a season didn't get cancelled this year, I think we would have promoted this year. We all on our fitness and our work rate and our ethos of everything that we do. And I remember that day, and that we were a lot fitter, a lot stronger, and they've got the budgets that they got is probably 15 times bigger than Gateshead's.
Cool.
But playing against Chris Eagles, playing against all these other, like saying David Wheater played for Oldham at the time, and I thought to myself, like, I should be here. I should not be playing Conference North. I should be here. And I wish I can get there again. Time will tell. I don't think. Obviously, with what football's like at the moment, maybe not this year. I hope I do. Hopefully, I get a phone call and give me another opportunity in the Football League, maybe League Two. Give me another opportunity so I can show myself again. But I still feel like I can do it, but time will tell.
I hope we get there again, mate. I really do. So, whilst at Newport, who would you say was your best mate and why?
To be honest, I had a few. I was always mingling around. We had our groups, so I was traveling in every day with Reece Taylor. Obviously, we were Swansea boys. We're traveling every day. We had our coffee club then. You had myself, Reece, Scott Bowden, Danny Holmes, Tom Owen Evans, Aaron Collins. So I would probably say Reece Taylor's probably my mate, probably at Newport. But I had a few. Obviously, Ollie McBurn started jumping in our car school when he was on loan for a month. I still speak to him now. Bernie, he's another one I still speak to now, and there's a few I still speak to now, like Tom Evans, Alan Collins. But I was one of them who just like mingled around different people in different days. I didn't really have a good set of group, but it was either the darts. When we had lunchtime, it was like darts. You had a little darts group. You had a ping pong table when we played them. But yeah, just different people. But probably Reece Taylor because obviously coming in with him every day at car school.
Fair play there, mate. Usual question you're going to get in an interview like this. Who was the best player you ever played with and against?
Oh wow, best player I've ever played against. Ooh, probably, probably playing against probably Seamus Coleman. Um, Played against him at when I was at Tamworth in the FA Cup.
Mhm.
Different level, like again, different level of fitness, different breed. Obviously Premier League. If probably the first time ever, I never had cramp before in my life, and after Seamus Coleman. Um, Played against him at when I was at Tamworth in the FA Cup.
Mhm.
Different level, like again, level, different breed. Obviously Premier League. If probably the first time ever, I never had cramp before in my life, and after 75 minutes, I pulled up a cramp. So you can
Bloody
tell
hell.
the different standards and different fitness levels from
Mhm.
the conference then to Premier League. But yeah, probably Seamus Coleman. Best player I'd probably play with. Oh, it's tough. I've played with a few. I played with obviously Ollie McBurn. No, that month he was there. He was,
Oh,
different class. You can always see, his young nine. I think he's 19 then or whatever he was. He come on loan,
mhm.
and you could always see the talent he had. He wasn't, like I said, he was a tall lad, but one built. But his movement, his creativity, like I said, his movement off the ball, especially in training, and his finishing was different class. And it's like I remember when he left, I said like you were going to play for Swansea soon. He said no, 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 I should, Premier League or whatever. I said no, no, you're playing for Swansea
Yeah.
soon. And no, obviously he did. And he's never looked back. He's scoring goals for Swansea. He's scoring goals for Sheffield United. I've played with some great players like George Baldock.
Yeah.
Playing with up Tamworth. He was another. He played when he was at Tamworth. He was playing centre midfield. He was on loan, 18-year-old lad on loan. Um, he was fantastic. Now he's playing Premiership as a right wing back. It's always new. Like again, you can always tell. The energy, and as a centre midfielder, he was up and down, up and down. His work ethic
Mhm.
was, incredible. And like I said, someone saw a difference in him, and and Sheffield United. Well, as MK Dons it was, it turned him to a right back, and
Yeah.
from then, and he's got better and better, better. But there's always is one player. I've He's probably one of the best pros, one of the best, like I say, one of the best teammates I've ever played with. And I was at Macclesfield when I played. Well, I just come back from injury, and I played alongside. I was left back, and I played alongside. He's right-footed, but he wanted always to play on the left-hand side.
Mm.
And yeah, that was George Pilkington.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
he was unbelievable. Like one of the nicest guys you can ever talk to.
Mm.
One of the nicest guys you can ever meet. But nothing ever phased him in training. Nothing phased him. He always gave it 100%. Even if he had his bad days, and everyone has a bad day in training, he always still kept going and kept going. But just during games, and I think that season, like when he was at Reece Taylor was in goals as well. That season, Macclesfield when I was there. We kept 21 clean sheets in the National League season, and we just missed out on playoffs by goal difference. But nothing ever phased him. No, if he's going against big, tall lads, he was using his great. He's not a big. He's not a big lad himself. He's stocky, but he's not a tall lad. But he never lost a header. He coming against quick people, he always adapted to that. Anyone he adapted to, no one could get past him. And it gave me the license then of because I had that beside me, gives me a license so I can do what I can do by going forward a lot more. Because he had my back and I had his back, and I think that partnership I had with him at Macclesfield, that year I think we played 40 odd games together. Was one of again probably one of the best partnerships, best centre half partnership I've ever played with. He always had my back, always had his, but nothing ever phased him. No one ever got past him.
Mm.
Um, and again, I think if he was at a time, I think he was a lot younger. He could have made a career of himself massively.
Ah, fair shout there, mate. Just to wrap things up then, as I said, you were thought very highly of by the Newport fans. Even to this day, you're still spoken about highly amongst the Newport faithful. Have you got any words for the county fans?
Obviously, like I say, like I obviously didn't get a chance at the time, but when I was there, like I say, I got to thank the county fans first off for taking me in. You know, 38 for the first season. You know, it was one of the best enjoyable seasons as well. He's had ups and downs, but you know, it was fantastic. You know, singing my song every game I played, every time I had a ball. You know, they sung my song, which again today they're still going around. But like I said, I wish I had more years at Newport. But you know, the club's going, and like I say, the club's going in the right direction. I always follow Newport County. Still always do. It doesn't matter now I got released. You know, I still always follow it, and the club is going somewhere with Flinney. I think he's a fantastic manager. I'm glad they took the chance in him at the time. You could see it in when we had training. He joined in training, but you can see it when you know his opinions in the game. I'm glad at the time they took him on and he saved him in the Great Escape. I think I remember that day, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then it all happened. I think I was jumping around my living room. And they stayed up, but they've just gone stronger and stronger. But the best thing is it's all youngsters coming through. You know, he's trusting youngsters, which is a good thing. Is it fun? You need some experience, which Newport do have, but you need the youngsters as well. And whether that's bringing them loan or you develop them from the academy, which he has done, as in like Alan Collins, his brother. And there was a few come from the academy. But what he's doing at Newport, and I hope he does continue, because obviously he always has speculation of where different clubs are going to go, which he deserves because he's done incredibly well for Newport County. And if he stays, should cherish every moment to have him there. But if he does go, you should clap in if he does go, because he's done remarkably well. Right. From you had that Graham, was it Graham Wesley?
Graham Wesley.
Yeah, you had him, and then you got to Flynn. Like I said, I've always said you should have gone with him, and he's a local lad, and he loves the club, and you can see that, and you can see it everything he does and everything he puts it in. But stick with it. Like saying, like the club is going places. He always has a sticky patch, and he always has his goes on a long run of winning games, and then he goes on a long run of losing games. But whatever happens, just stick by the club, because good times will roll. Like I can see it coming. I can see it coming the way the club is going, the philosophy is going in. But stick with it. All the fans stick together, and obviously go through tough times. Different chairmans, different this, different that. Yeah. Players, but stick together. That's the main thing, because I had it at Gateshead last season, where we had a chairman and he nearly ruined the club. And just stick together as a club, stick together as fans, because that's more, like saying, much more important. At the end of the day, Gateshead's a fan-run club. Newport County is, again, fans love it. You have your thousands coming up every week. Just keep following the club, and success will come. You get into League One sooner or later, but just keep going the right way. And again, like I said, didn't get to say thank you a few years ago, but I still follow the club. But like I said, I thank you for all the Gateshead fans, and especially you two as well, and Leanne, because you always looked after me as well. Always, like saying, you come to my Merthyr games. So again, I thank you both as well.
I appreciate that, mate. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your time. No, it's been great catching up with you, mate.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Cheers, mate. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again. Make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.